Cyber attacks have become more and more of a concern in the digital age. How can individuals and businesses be one step ahead when it comes to these threats? Cybersecurity firm Trend Micro's Ryan Flores speaks to us now on The Final Word. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. We have the general threats such as text scams, smishing, phishing. What makes the Philippines vulnerable to these cyber attacks?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of promotions happening in the Philippines, and that is actually being used as lures in order to perpetrate this phishing and scam. So I think it's all it's something that also depends on the context of the audience of the target victims, and that is how they are able to do this.
Unfortunately, Ryan, even though with the investigation of these cyber criminals and these cyber hackers, I still receive so many of them on my phone. I don't know how they even got my number.
Yeah, that's true. And they can get it through a lot of ways. Hackers have a lot of means to get your data, whether you maybe have shared your phone number on a website or a social media, they can get that. So they actually have a lot of means and sophisticated methods to do these things. And also, your data might be part of a data breach, and this is why corporations need to protect customer data, because if the customer's data is breached, then it can be then used to attack individuals in the process.
We have these general consumer threats. What are the new threats that cyber criminals have been cooking up?
Yeah, so we've seen that cyber criminals are getting more sophisticated, and it's also because of the network and the infrastructure for corporations are getting more sophisticated. There are more areas of entry for these attackers, and it's getting more difficult for defenders to properly monitor and protect these servers, these endpoints, and the network, right? So, and I also see that it's a long game that they're playing. A mistake that someone makes now, it does not result immediately in a breach, but can be the root cause 6 months from now or a year from now.
So, what steps must individuals, our kababayans, and local companies take to beef up their cybersecurity defenses?
Yeah, I think awareness is is key to this. Know what's going on, know what's happening, know how the attackers are performing these and what they are after. I think that's important. So if you receive, for example, unsolicited text messages asking for a transfer, right, for a certain amount, then they're after your money. And if you receive a text message and then it redirects you to a web page and asking for a login, then they are trying to get your credentials and trying to see what you have access to, whether that be your bank account or your office account, email account, right? And then they can steal more information from you. So having the awareness in these kind of things is very important. Knowledge is key.
What about the Philippines Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012, Ryan? Is this law strong enough to fight threats against individuals and companies?
I think so. It has quite a wide coverage. I think the challenge we have right now is that there are not enough people who would report the incidents. There are not enough people who are able to understand and preserve evidence. And also our law enforcement needs help. So the law itself is good, but I think overall in the ecosystem and every other dependency is lacking.
And of course, when you're talking about cybersecurity defenses, it also means spending money, especially for local companies. Is there a budget way to be able to defend yourself from these cyber criminals and hackers?
Yeah, I would answer that by saying that it's more expensive to have your bank account emptied by a hacker, right? So there's always but I understand the trade-off. One thing that that you you can get around this is by looking at value. There's a lot of security products out there, but you need to have something that has several capabilities. So maybe you have an antivirus program. Does that antivirus program also block threats that are coming from email, that are
Right.
coming from web, that are coming from social networks and things like that? So having a multi-featured product actually helps here and keeps the costs low.
And Ryan, briefly, no, you have a cybersecurity conference, Decode 2022. Detect and respond. What more can we learn about protecting ourselves from these cyber criminals?
Yes, so as I already mentioned, awareness is key, and I think this is one of the venues where our audiences can keep themselves updated of the latest security threats, the latest attacks, who are doing the attacks, and how to protect themselves. So this event is on Monday and Tuesday. Registration is free. We would be bringing over our experts from around the world, and also not only from Trend Micro, but also from industry and law enforcement. It's going to be very interesting. We even have women-specific sessions. So yeah, we hope that cybersecurity professionals, management, and even students would register.
Thank you so much for joining us, Ryan Flores from Trend Micro, a global security leader. And